Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm super excited that we get to do this video. This is going to be a very, very interesting and exciting session. Today, we are going to be looking at the immigration conundrum in America. And if you are an immigrant in America, what you should be doing right now to get yourself together and how to navigate this challenging time. If I tell you that many people are not panicking right now, then that is a big lie. I know many people are freaking out. Families are struggling right now. That is a fact we must admit. A lot of people are being repatriated from different countries. We've heard the issue with Cuba and many other nations and what is going on right now in the United States of America. I want to share with you what is going on, what you should do as a leader from other nations, say Cuba or any nation in Africa, and what you as an immigrant should do right now if you find yourself in the United States of America, especially those who are documented immigrants in America. If you are undocumented, there is still tons of value to get out of this video as to how you can navigate this turbulent moment. The first thing I will start by letting everyone watching this video understand is this is the time you can't afford to panic. Calm down. I repeat, calm down. And the reason is simple. President Trump, we will all agree, has earned the love, the like, and respect of everyone in the United States. This is a man that was shot, going down, putting the fist bump up and saying, America first, even at the point of death. That is patriotism. That is undeniably. And what do we see in that? We see that him becoming president, he has earned the respect of everyone in this nation and those outside of this nation. You can say anything about Donald Trump, but you have to respect him. This is not the time to be emotional. If you are emotional right now, you are in a very tough spot. You can't afford to be emotional. Regardless of your status in this nation, you can't afford to be emotional. I'm going to give us practical tips on what to do, how to navigate this current time, but it's important that you keep a level head, right? So first, isn't this interesting that from the very first week President Trump got into office, he issued approximately 350 executive actions. That is 350 executive orders. He issued 26 executive orders on his very, very first day in office. I mean, I'm going to share with you why this is important. But for a very, very long time, no U.S. president has done that. Right. So I want you to listen to this clip and then we will analyze. But remember, we will look at some of those executive orders. What are the implications of these executive orders on you, an immigrant, and also how you should respond to this, especially if you are outside of the United States as well. And then also you as an immigrant, what you should be doing. Because this is one thing I want us to bear in mind. The United States of America is a nation that values potential. So if you are in this country and you have potential, you should worry the least. If you are in this country and your primary objective is money, you should be panicking right now, which means for the time you've been in this country, you didn't work on yourself. So when the times are changing, you are panicking because you can't control outside circumstances. But if you were in this nation working on yourself, you have nothing to worry about. I'm saying this because I understand the emotions that everybody's going through right now, but I am not panicking at all. So with that being said, I love and respect President Donald Trump. He has demonstrated what patriotism is all about. That you can have all the money in the world, but still have love for your country. And this is an example that every immigrant should learn, and those outside of the United States should learn to love your country. You might not agree with your government, you might not agree with everyone within your country, but you have to prioritize love for your nation. And I think this is the message I've been preaching on this platform. Coming to America, for me, it was all about growth. Number one, I prioritize my personal growth over everything else. Number two, I prioritize giving value to this nation. I didn't come here just looking for a job so that I can make money and prove to others that I have arrived. I prioritize my personal growth. I prioritize contributing to the well-being of this nation. That was number two. And then number three, giving back to the country where I come from. So that is my order. Right? Regardless of what happens in this country, I will never ever change that order. And if you never had that structure, then this is time to recalibrate. It is important. I'm going to share with us a lot of tips as to how to go about it moving forward as an immigrant under Trump's reign, because friends, the Trump of 2016 is different from the Trump of 2025. Again, I want to repeat that. The Trump you knew in 2016 is completely different from the President Trump that you see in 2025. And come to think of it, many businesses grew from the time Trump came into power in 2016. And I think that is a lot that is going to happen right now as we are looking at other countries. A lot of businesses are going to grow. A lot has changed. And what you have to do is go with the time, follow the leader, and do not harbor any spirit of resentment. Do not sit in your own corner and gossip and say evil things about the president, right? The walls have ears. Keep a positive spirit. That is the most you can do right now. Are you tracking? But one thing that I can assure you is that everything is going to be okay if you have a positive spirit. That should be your foundation. Number one, personal growth. Number two, contributing to the well-being of this nation. There are many problems that America is going through. And coming in here as an immigrant, if you are a solution to any of those problems, there's a high chance that Americans will love and want to have you around. But if you came here and the mindset was to take and leave, if you came here and the mindset was, I just want to make my country where I come from better, I want to get everything that I can from the United States and make my country of origin better, and then that was kind of the wrong track that you started on, and maybe that is why you're panicking right now. But if you had the good conscience to help solve a problem in this country, of which you can start doing that, because I'll share with you exactly what you can start doing as an immigrant in America so that you don't have to worry about anything outside. You can worry about you because the only person that you have control over is you. Okay? So watch this.
Team meeting.
In a single week, I've taken over 350 executive actions.
As President Trump asserts his government makeover.
I also signed an order to end the weaponization of our government against the American people.
New tonight, a number of Department of Justice team meeting.
In a single week, I've taken over 350 executive actions.
As President Trump asserts his government makeover.
I also signed an order to end the weaponization of our government against the American people.
New tonight, a number of Department of Justice team meeting.
In a single week, I've taken over
Okay,
350.
you saw that. So if you look at that on your screen, guys, that is 26 executive order on day one of becoming president of the United States of America. 26 executive orders. The GDP of the United States as of 2025 is approximately 29 trillion US dollars. The GDP of the United States. The GDP of the entire continent of Africa is 2.8 trillion US dollars. That is the entire Africa combined is approximately 1/10 of the GDP of the United States of America. So what is this saying to you? There is that wealth inequality, which is one of the biggest problems that America is trying to avoid. The wealth gap is huge compared to the global average. The wealth gap between America and other countries is huge. And also there are a lot of challenges that America is facing right now. And they really want people that will come in here with talents and skills that can help solve some of those problems. I'm going to outline at least 6 of those executive orders and how those executive orders applies to you as an immigrant in America, and what you should be doing with your time here in this country moving forward. You know, people came here for 2 reasons. Either you came here to study, go back and make your country of origin better, or you came here to add value to this nation, not just seeking a job, because that is why you see most Americans, they're like, okay, immigrants are coming in here and they're taking all the jobs, and we don't want that, right? But if you came here and you are someone that is of value, they don't see you as taking a job, because if you are of value, you are creating jobs. Are you understanding? So let's go ahead and look at 6 of these executive orders. Okay. So number 1, withdraw from international agreements. That is the Paris Climate Agreement. The US withdrew from the Paris Climate Agreement, signaling a departure from global climate change mitigation effort. World Health Organization. The administration also withdrew from the World Health Organization, impacting international public health collaboration. Are you understanding? Number 2, energy and environmental policies. National energy emergencies. A national energy emergency was declared to boost fossil fuel production, including removing restriction on drilling and promoting liquefied natural gas export. This is what happened on day 1. Number 3, social policies, gender definition. An order was signed recognizing only 2 biological sexes, male and female, affecting federal policies related to gender inequality. So what does this do in effect? The restrictions on gender affirming care. This is what President Donald Trump did on day 1 entering into office. I'm going to share with you how to look at this, right? But it's important that we have perspective, because like I said again, this is not time for us to be emotional. Are you tracking? So the federal funding was stripped from treatment related to gender transition for individuals under 19 years old. Number 4, immigration and citizenship. Now pay attention. Ending birthright citizenship. An executive order aimed to end birthright citizenship for descendants of illegal immigrants, because some people thought this is the restriction of every immigrant coming into America legally and giving birth to a child. That child is no longer considered a U.S. citizen, but that is not the case. This is for illegal immigrants. So if you legally came into the United States, this doesn't apply to you. So let's take note of that. a move that has faced legal challenges. Border security. A national emergency was declared at the southern border to facilitate the development of armed forces and enhance border security measures. Number 5, government reforms. The Department of Government Efficiency. A new department was established to streamline federal operations and reduce bureaucracy, right? So this reclassification of government workers. Certain government workers were reclassified, potentially affecting job security and civil service protection. Number 6, diversity, equity, and inclusion, that is the DEI policies. So the revocation of the DEI program, an order was issued to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion program within the federal government and military training. So what does this mean? That this indicates that we don't say if you are competent or incompetent, we will take you in because we want to promote diversity and equality. No, if you are competent, you get the job. So this is raising the standard. We might look at this and say, it is biased. But what are we saying? That if you are a competent medical doctor, you should be allowed to practice, right? We should not just bring you in because your population is underrepresented, which was the case previously. And he's saying, like, you gotta be competent. If you're competent, then you are included. So not just that we include you because you represent a minority group, but we give you the job because you are competent. And I think this is something good. It's maintaining high standard. There will be low debt rate and people will be well taken care of. So I want us to have perspective on these policies, right? On these executive actions as immigrants. Because your attitude towards this is going to determine your stay here. You might even be a documented immigrant, but your behavior might affect you in this country moving forward. So it is very, very important that you pay attention to this. Are we tracking? And number 7, the last, pardons. So the January 6 rioters, a sweeping series of pardons were granted to individuals convicted in connection with the January 6 Capitol riot. So this is what is going on right now in the United States of America. And many people don't understand what to do about the current immigration policy. You see WhatsApp groups and people are freaking out, sharing messages, how to deal with ICE and all of that. And I just want to say again, calm down. Everything is going to be just fine, right? So when you equip yourself with knowledge, right, you're not freaking out. When you work on yourself, you're not freaking out. When you have good intentions towards this country, that is, you don't just sit on your own corner and you say all sorts of things about the country or about President Trump. If you have that good heart towards a nation, you should have little to worry about. Are we tracking? So let me go ahead and share with you as an immigrant what you should be doing right now. During these 4 years, what will help you to guarantee your stay in this country? If you really love this country and you feel like if you're taken out of this country is going to be something that will affect you, this is what I want you to bear in mind, right? There is a very important story that I read in the Bible regarding Joseph, right? Joseph, you all know the character. He was sold as a slave in Egypt. He was lied upon by Potiphar's wife, that is his boss's wife. He was thrown into prison. An immigrant in a foreign nation. And I think many immigrants find themselves in the shoes of Joseph right now, regardless of the country you come from. This is what Joseph did that was amazing. Joseph was competent, had skills that were valuable. Again, they are high income skills, and high income skills are skills that solve high income problems. Like this, if you have problems, right, and you have people around, you want those who are competent to solve some of those problems. And so if everyone is depending on you, America is a trophy for you, that becomes a problem even for the nation. It becomes a burden for the nation, right? Look at what is going on social media in different parts of the world and all of that, what I'll tell you is Joseph was made governor because he could not only interpret dreams, but he came up with an economic plan that saved an entire nation for 14 years. Are you understanding? You think if you have a solution to some of the problems or the challenges that America is going through right now, and I'll list some of those challenges, and if you have skills in these areas, what you should be doing right now with your time in the United States. If you have a job, that is cool. When you come back from your job, what you should be using your time for. Are you tracking? So Joseph solved the problem. He was taken out of prison. He was made governor. He was allowed to lead a team of people that will plan for this economic downtime that Egypt was supposed to experience. And not only that, his family was allowed to come over and live with him in Egypt. So this is a blessing that you can be to a nation where you find yourself. So Joseph did not think about making the nation where he comes from better. Joseph was thinking about the nation where he finds himself and how to make that nation better. And because of that mindset, you see him coming out of the prison into the palace. Today, as you're watching this video as an immigrant in America, no matter the country you come from, how can you be of value to this nation that they can take you from that prison, from the job that you currently occupied right now, to promotion? Okay, and that can guarantee your stay in this country and you can be respected in this country. That is what you can do, right? Worrying about what President Trump will do next will do you no good. Are you understanding? Worrying about what policy is going to be instituted will do you no good. So I encourage every immigrant, watch this video, share with your friends and relatives and those back home as well, that let them stay calm. So what is my point? For those outside of America, presidents or leaders outside of America, I think this time for you to mobilize your nations, talk to your people. This time for patriotism. America is the richest country on earth. Right? It is the richest and the most powerful nation on earth. So Donald Trump is the most powerful man right now on earth. Instead of fighting what he says, or rather, how can you take this as a challenge to love your own country? Talk to your own people, cooperate and build something. I think this is the energy that we should all have in our respective nations instead of fighting President Donald Trump. He genuinely loves his country, wants to make his country better, and he's coming up with strategies to go about that. We got to respect that, right? Most people from other countries don't really love their country. And those who are living outside of the United States, this time, if you are instigating violence in your country of origin, this is time to cut it off because you'll be hurt really bad. Again, I repeat, the President Trump of 2016 and the President Trump of 2025 are completely different people. So you got to watch out because you don't know what is coming next. Okay, so let me go ahead and share with you what we should be doing right now with our time. So I talked about problems. Now, number one, these are industries that if you have skills in, you can start a business in these industries and solve a problem in this country. This is not time to play safe. This is not time to think that your job is guaranteed and you'll be valued in this nation because of the job that you occupied. To an extent, some people in certain industries will still be respected, but many are going to struggle, right? So number one, affordable housing development and property management. So this is an industry that if you have skills, you should be thinking of getting into these industries. So what is the problem? High rent. We have high rent in America right now, lack of affordable housing, and rising homelessness. The solution, start a real estate development or property management company that builds or manages affordable multifamily housing using cost-effective building techniques. So this is what you can utilize or leverage right now if you have skills in any of these industries. And for monetization, government housing grants are available that you can look for, yes, and get into some of these industries. The housing crisis in America is huge. And if you can be creative in this sector, there is a high chance that Americans will want to have you around. Does that make sense? So rental income and property appreciation is something that you can take advantage of when it comes to monetization. Number two, healthcare staffing and home care services. So that is number two. So the healthcare staffing and home care services. So if you can get into an industry like staffing, especially when it has to do with healthcare, that is a great industry. If you have skills in, you should be thinking of how to start a program, start a training center. You can do that even online, starting online before you look for a relocation to do that. You can get all the required certifications and start a business in this industry. You will be high value for this nation. This country will want to have you around if you are solving some of these problems. So what is the problem? Shortage of healthcare workers, rising aging population, the baby boomers. I'm sure you know about that. So they are becoming old and they need help. President Trump falls within the baby boomer age group. So this is something that you can prioritize as this population is getting old. They will need a lot of assistance and care, right? And expensive elderly care. So you can become a solution. What are some of the solutions? Launch a healthcare staffing agency that recruits nurses, caregivers, and medical assistants to fill hospitals' shortage. So there is a shortage right now of staffing when it comes to the healthcare industry, and you can start a staffing agency for healthcare workers. That is an incredible opportunity to venture in. The experience you've had as a nurse or a doctor for 10, 5, maybe 15 years, this is time for you to package that knowledge into maybe a course, right? Have a training session where you can mentor others and maybe certify them, and they can go out there, because the certificate that they get from school or they get from the state is not enough. You have some personal experience as to how you've taken care of patients and all of that. And if you can start an industry in this area, because this is the time for businessmen. I mean, whether you like it or not, you should be thinking about a business. This 4 years is going to be all about business. And there's not time to depend on foreign aid from America. You see President Trump cut that down. Like, we are not going to be part of this. So it's time for business. So it's good news. I mean, it depends on how you look at things, but I think it is good news. President Trump is going to help boost the economy of America, and I think it is going to boost the economy of other countries around the world. I think many people have looked at the ban or tariffs on goods coming from Mexico, and they're asking, but why Mexico? Why Mexico? This is what happened. You probably know the beef between America and China. And this is what China did. China decided to establish some of their companies in Mexico so that they can be able to avoid maybe the tariffs or the conflict that they are dealing with America. And so now they manufacture some of those products in Mexico, and then they move them over to the United States. So President Trump putting a tariff on Mexico is indirectly saying, China, your products won't get in here. So there's a lot going on with international politics that most of us don't understand. And you're like, why are you treating Mexico? Is it a special, or is it some problem that President America has with Mexico? No, it's far from that. I'm sure now you see the connection. So this is exactly what you should be doing. So if you can start a staffing company, and this is the solution, guys. So if you launch a healthcare staffing agency that recruits nurses, caregivers, and medical assistants to fill hospital shortage. Alternatively, start a home care business offering services for seniors, for senior citizens, the baby boomers, right? Monetization. So service contracts with hospitals. That is how you can make money. You have these contracts with hospital. Private patient care. You can okay, I'll care for this patient privately through my home health business. right? And then the insurance reimbursement. So that is another strategy to monetize your healthcare business in a time such as this. Number 3, workforce training and skilled labor academy. This is something huge as well, right? So what is the problem? Job openings remain unfulfilled due to lack of trained workers, especially in skilled trades. Solution: establish a training center specializing in high demand fields like construction, welding, electrical work, and HVAC. Monetization: tuition fees, employer sponsored training, government workforce development grant. So this is how you can get money to run a business like this, and this is how you can monetize a business of this nature, right? So workforce training and skilled labor academy. So this is huge as well. So number 4, immigration consulting and legal assistance. This is huge. So the problem: many immigrants struggle with documentation, legal work, and integration. Problem: open an immigration service agency providing visa assistance, green card applications, and citizenship preparation. So this is huge. And the monetization: service fee, business incorporation assistance for immigrant entrepreneurs. And this is huge. Like, guys, whatever skill that you have, maybe if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10 years of experience, right? You should be thinking of starting a business. You should be thinking of starting a course. You should be thinking of starting a coaching program, a mastermind program where you charge people. And those are skills that we can help train you in. We can show you how to use the skill that you already have and turn that into a course, turn that into a program. Or if you're running a business, we can help you get clients, which is one of the problems many people struggle in business, getting clients for their business. We can help flood your business with qualified clients so that you can stay in business. Many people are freaking out. They're scared of starting a business because they don't know how they will get clients. So we can walk you through, and that is what our consulting agency does for service providers. If you have a service of any kind and you are an immigrant in the United States of America, contact us. We are going to walk you through how to create an irresistible offer, an offer that is so good that your clients feel stupid saying no. We can help create that irresistible offer. We can help set up your website or your landing page or your Facebook the right way. Whatever way you want to collect the leads, we can help structure that for you, and we can flood your business with leads, with qualified customers that you can serve. Are you tracking? So it is time for you to turn your professional skills into an income generating source, right? So number 5, mental health and wellness center. That is something you can think about starting right now, especially what is going on in the United States of America. Problem: high rate of stress, anxiety, and depression, especially in marginalized communities. Solution: open a mental health clinic focusing on affordable therapy, support groups, and wellness program. This is something that you can do, right? If you've dealt with depression in the past, or if you are certified therapy, this is time for you to think of growing and scaling your coaching business, right? Or growing and scaling your business. This is time for you not only getting clients, of which we can help you do that, but also how can you become a leader, have systems where you can employ others to do the same thing that you're doing and grow and scale a profitable business and be of value to America. Not a liability to America. Not seeing America just as a trophy for you, but seeing America as a place where you can contribute and make the nation better. Are you understanding? Again, remember, work on yourself, contribute, that is add value to the nation where you find yourself. If America is that country, make sure that you contribute to the well-being of this nation. And I think that is very, very important. And then What are the monetizations? Because many people are going to be depressed right now. People are stressed right now. Many people are depressed. I can't deny that fact. I've seen the social media comments. I've seen the post online. Some people think Donald Trump is evil and all of that. But, let me lay that to rest. He's not. He's just showing us what patriotism is all about, what it means to love your country. And we should enjoy this. At the end of the day, I think he means well for this nation. I think he means well for everyone. And for a good business environment to flourish, people need to trust one another. You can't do business with people that you don't trust. And so what is he doing? He is repatriating the undocumented immigrants with criminal records. And he's like, these people are creating an environment that is not safe to do business. So letting these people go, that means people will trust one another within the nation to do business with one another within the nation. And that is going to increase the GDP or the livelihood of Americans. And I think this is amazing. So these are industries that you should be thinking of venturing in because they are incredible opportunities. So how do you make money? Monetization, insurance reimbursement, therapy session fees, corporate wellness contracts. Number 6, AI and tech reskilling boot camps. That is, if you are into tech, cybersecurity, name it, you can run a boot camp and charge people for that boot camp and make money doing so, because you have experience that many others do not have in this industry, and they will love to learn from an expert. Imagine most of our schools that we went to, we're learning from teachers that have never done the job. And we leave with some of those certificates and we can't even use them in the real world. You have been in the trenches. You have experience. Do you know how valuable that experience would be for someone starting in that industry, that you're able to package that into, say, an 8 weeks course, and you can teach somebody on what you know, and we can help you do that. You don't have to worry, because this is the time you can't afford but venture into entrepreneurship. I know, especially for immigrants from Africa, being an entrepreneur in America is the most lonely journey, because many don't want to become entrepreneurs. It is the most lonely journey to walk in America, being an entrepreneur from Africa. And I understand. And that is why we started this company, Guarantee Magnet, knowing the challenges that most immigrants face, especially from Africa and other immigrant communities, starting and running a successful business in America. Number 1 is client. You must get clients. If you have an irresistible offer, right? You have maybe a 30-day money back guarantee on that offer. You make that offer so good that the customers feel stupid saying no, right? The next thing is we have to find you, right? Where are you online? Right? Do you have a website? Do you have a Facebook page? Where are you online? How can we find you? And we can walk you through that. And then how do you flood your campaign or your website with leads, with customers, with traffic? And that is the next step. And when you have huge volume and you can't handle that, because that is what I went through, right? I've run and continue to run a multi-million car rental company here in the United States of America, right? When I started, it was tough. I was depending on third-party companies to help me grow and scale my business, right? It was really challenging. And I realized the biggest problem that I'm facing is customers. I need customers to help me grow and scale my business. So whatever it is that you're struggling with in America, people don't care about your accent if you can deliver. If you can deliver the service, people don't care about your accent. Almost every room that I have walked into in the United States of America, and I've been given a microphone to speak for 1 or 2 minutes, I've always commanded respect in that room. And after that event, people always rush to my table, wanting to know me more, wanting to connect with me, because my heart for this nation is good right? My love for the community. I love to be part of something that is good, and I want to see what way I can contribute. And I've always been a source of inspiration for the American people. That's why I'm not freaking out, because I genuinely care about the people. I care about the country. I love the country. I want to learn from the country. I want my nation to have values like that of America, and you should too. If you feel the pain of leaving this country so much, that means this country contributed some way in your life to make your life better, then you should value the values and the culture of this country and promote the well-being of this country. America is also an embodiment of the world, and I want you to look at it from that perspective. Every country on earth should be fighting hard to protect this country. That is how I really see America, honestly, because there is no country on earth that you won't find a citizen from that country here in America. So everyone around the world is benefiting from this nation. You have someone from your country in America, regardless of the country that you come from. And that is how we should all see America, like that foundation, that nation that is helping the rest of the world. Are you tracking? And everyone here is contributing in some way to make this country great for the betterment of the world. That we can see something amazing like this. We don't only come there to take, but we come to contribute and to add value. Are you tracking? So number 7, let me rush through this so that we can wrap up. Okay. So affordable grocery and ethical food supply chain. And I think that is number 7. So problem, rising food costs, lack of affordable, healthy options in food, desserts, and growing demand for ethnic cuisines. Solution, launch a discount grocery store, ethnic food supply chain, or mobile fresh produce market that caters for diverse communities. So I know Houston is a huge hub for that. So many immigrants are in Houston, right? It's a huge hub. And if you can import food from other countries, right, that many immigrants will want to consume, this is a huge business opportunity that you can venture in, and there are a lot of opportunities. So monetization, retail sales, wholesale partnership, restaurant supply contracts. This is how you can monetize this system, by running a food chain, because there's shortage of food supply in America. So these are problems that you can solve and be of value in this country. This is the reality, guys. You should work on yourself so good that even if you're deported, you're not worried, because you know that you will be of value wherever you go. With that, you're not panicking. And that is really the kind of mindset that I have. Are you understanding? That you are of value, that no matter where you go, people will sought after you. You will be of value. You will contribute to the lives of people. America was not just a trophy for you. In as much as you learn a lot in this country, but you've worked on yourself so much that no matter where you find yourself, you can still contribute value. That is what life is all about, right? It's not about, oh, I traveled to America, it is a trophy for me, and so if something goes wrong, that is the end of the world for me. No, never ever find yourself in that situation. Never think that way. And if that is the way you've been thinking, then you have not been working on yourself. You haven't. You've been soft, right? So now number 8 is logistics and last mile delivery service. So the problem, high demand of fast delivery services, especially for small businesses and local stores. Solution, build a local delivery network catering to small businesses, restaurants, and pharmacies needing same-day deliveries. Monetization, deliveries fee, subscription models, partnerships, and e-commerce business. So there's a lot that you can do to be of value in this country. Number 9, construction and remodeling businesses. Problem, housing shortage. You heard about that. And Donald Trump wants to make America great, right? He's talked about remodeling homes and making the country more beautiful in terms of real estate. Remember, that is his background. And so he wants to make America cool again. So you learning a skill in any of these industries, or if you have a skill in any of these industries, how to monetize that skill will be of huge, significant value to this nation. So to the housing shortage and high construction costs due to labor shortage. So there's labor shortage when it comes to construction. Solution: establish a construction company focusing on affordable housing, home renovation, or modular home solutions, and the monetization, construction contracts, government-backed affordable housing projects. And the last, veteran support businesses. That this is huge for veterans. Americans, especially with the conservative president like Donald Trump, they value their veterans. And so if you can run a business taking care of veterans, the country needs you. The country needs you. All I've been sharing with you are opportunities that can create that Joseph effect for you, so that you can be at peace and understand that you are contributing to the well-being of this nation. And as you venture into entrepreneurship and starting something, running a business, I guarantee you, at the end of the day, the skills that you've developed becoming an entrepreneur, no matter the country where you go to, you will be of value. You will be of value. So what's the problem, guys? Many veterans struggle with employment, housing, and PTSD. That is post-traumatic stress disorder. That is when they're coming back from the military, coming back from war, coming back from other countries. They're distressed, right? They've seen a lot, done a lot, and so they struggle. So solution: start a veteran-focused staffing agency, mental health center, and job training business to help transition vets into civil careers. So helping them get back into society, integrate them into society. Monetization, government contracts. So there are government contracts almost on all of this industries or sectors that I've outlined. Government contracts that you can take and start and run a successful business in any of these industries. Are you tracking? So I think that is it. Let me go ahead now and look at what this means for foreign nations. I think I'll touch on that a little bit and then we'll wrap up. Is this making sense so far? Are you getting tons of value out of this video? Yes. So this is what it means for foreign nations that don't understand. Because when we see a situation like this, the first thing is to feel like the whole world is coming down on you. America doesn't like you. They hate your country. It's far from that. But you got to be passionate. And when you see that, it's not like Donald Trump is angry about other immigrants. He just wants to set things right for his country. And I think, in effect, other nations will be able to recalibrate, set up better structures, and make their own countries great. Are you tracking? So that should be the energy throughout the entire world, making your nation great. As Americans and immigrants and Americans work in collaboration with Americans to make America great. Are you tracking? So now, number one, trade and economic policies. So what is the effect of some of these declarations, these policies, these sanctions, these executive orders that has been issued by President Donald Trump? So trade and economic policies. So tariff imposition. The administration has implemented substantial tariffs on countries like Colombia, Canada, and Mexico. For instance, a 25% tariff was imposed on Colombia imports following dispute over deportation fight. So Colombia is like, people came back on chains. What's going on? And the president's like, Trump, you don't better do that, right? And Trump says, because of what you've said, 25% tariffs. That is how it looks like, guys. Quite interesting. We laugh over these things, but I know people are going through a lot, and governments are figuring out ways to maneuver situations like this. Stay calm. That happens. When they are deporting people, that is what happens. They come back in chains. They come back in handcuffs. It's normal. You see what I'm saying? So similarly, Mexico faces the threat of 25% tariffs, which could destabilize its economy due to heavy reliance on U.S. trade. So Mexico might get that 25% as well. And their relationship with America is huge. They depend solely on the American economy for their own economy. So this is something that might affect Mexico greatly. So America First agenda. At the World Economic Forum, President Trump emphasized that global business should manufacture products in the US to avoid tariffs. So if you run a global business, it's like producing it out of the US and bringing it in here is going to be tough moving forward. So it is better you establish that company here and produce here because it's going to be cheaper for you. You're going to avoid that tariffs. So he's signaling a protectionist stance that could disrupt international trade dynamics. Now, diplomatic relationship and aid. So diplomatic pressure. The U.S. has exerted economic pressure on nations like Colombia to align with its immigration policies, exemplifying by the recent tariff threat leading to Colombia's agreement to accept deportation fights, right? Foreign aid suspension. A 90-day suspension of U.S. foreign aid assistance has led to significant cutback in the UN aid operation, affecting humanitarian efforts worldwide. This is a fact, right? Like, okay, we're not going to be giving aid anymore, and we're going to suspend this for 90 days. That is 3 months, right? Because it's part of the Making America Great. I know this is challenging for most nations that solely relied on this foreign aid. But again, I sympathize with you. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Yeah. Everything is going to be fine. Everything will work for good. Imagine what Donald Trump went through with his family. This man was almost killed. And I think God works everything together for the good of they that trust him. And if you trust God, remain calm. Everything is going to be fine. So geopolitical strategies, territorial ambitions. The administration has expressed intent in expanding U.S. territories, with discussions about inquiry regions like Greenland, that is acquiring regions like Greenland, and reasserting control over the Panama Canal. These ambitions have raised concerns about a resurgence of American imperialism. This is the perspective. So the Middle East is another one. So the U.S. played a role in brokering a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, indicating continued involvement in Middle East affairs. So U.S. is going to be involved in what has been going on in the Middle East. And I think as a global power like the United States of America, with the relationships and bilateral agreements that they have with other countries, they have a huge responsibility. Right. And this is what we'll all see during Trump's reign. So get ready for it. So you either fight back. Again, the GDP of this country as of 2025 is $29 trillion. The GDP of the entire continent of Africa is approximately $2.8 trillion. Are you tracking? So readjust. Thinking of fighting, thinking of arguing, thinking of maybe throwing all sorts of words back to America or Donald Trump is not the smartest move. Are you tracking? So there are global perceptions and reactions. Obviously, we know that. So what are some of the global perceptions and reactions? So the international concerns, world leaders are bracing for shift in U.S. foreign policy and apprehension about the potential undermining of international alliance and the established global order. Mixed reaction. While some nations view the administration's transactional and pro-business approach favorably, right? They see it favorably, and others are worried of the implications of global stability and the erosion of rule-based international order. So in summary, President Trump's second term is characterized by assertive economic policies, a re-evaluation of international commitment, and strategic initiatives that are reshaping global interactions. These actions have illicitly, right, or has elicited a spectrum of response from international community reflecting the complex dynamics of contemporary geopolitics. So this is what is going on around the world right now. But again, my point is stay calm. Everything is going to be okay. I've shown you what to do if you are an immigrant in the United States of America. What skill do you have? How can you run a business to solve some of the problems that America is going through? That can be your Joseph story, from the prison to the palace, because you're solving a problem that this country is dealing with. And so you're respected, you're loved, and they want you to be here. You're helping to create jobs. They'll never ever tell Elon Musk, go back to South Africa. Never. America will never tell Elon Musk, go back to South Africa. They will never tell the founder of Google, go back to your country. So these are things that you should look at and ask, why is it that they will never tell Elon Musk, go back to your own country? Why? Because he is contributing tremendously to the development of this nation. He's creating employment. And if you are in America and if you decided that you love this country and you want to make it your own country, go ahead and model a similar path. Be of value. Again, work on yourself, number one, contribute to the well-being of this nation, number two, and then you can think of your country of origin, number three. If you follow that structure, even mentally, you don't have to worry. But if your entire time here, you've been focused on sending money back and you don't even worry about anything that this country is going through and helping to fix some of the problems that this country is going through, you'll be panicking right now. You will really be panicking right now. And that is not a good place to be. I hope you got some value out of this video. If you're from Africa, you're an immigrant, from Mexico, wherever, there's a link below. I've put a video together. It's a 15 minutes or less video giving you a basic training on what to do as an entrepreneur. I know it's a lonely journey, but we are going to be with you. That is why we build long-term relationships with the people that do business with us. We are not doing business with you for 1 year, 2 years. We are looking at long-term business relationships. And we're going to hold your hand and we're going to be with you along this journey of being an entrepreneur as an immigrant in America, and the advantages that you can take, the opportunities that you can take advantage of if you have skills in any of these industries. Are you tracking? So go ahead and share this video with some of your friends and loved ones. Again, let them understand that everything is going to be fine, and let them remain calm. I love you guys so much, and until next time, remain blessed.